Kenyatta, watching Free Speech TV in Redlands, California. Hey, Kenyatta, what's on your mind today?
Tom, I wanted to talk about what the gentleman that just phoned in talked about. That was the president crying yesterday. And I will tell you that you've probably heard the old saying that I hate to see a grown man cry. Mm-hmm. My experience as a man has been that men cry because they are in deep, deep pain. Now, I remember when my parents were married, my dad says, well, why are you crying? She says, because I'm so happy. Mm-hmm. And I know that women cry for different reasons, and I know I get myself.
I'm not sure that's all that true. I when our oldest child was born, I called my parents and just burst into tears on the phone, blubbering about it.
Okay. Well, like I said, I'm not sure about that, but this is where I wanted to go with this, Tom. As we shake and swim here in California, I just thought it was ill-advised because obviously the president has staff, he has handlers, and they had to have known that he felt this strongly about Sandy Hook. The crying wasn't the issue. But when I saw him do that, this is what I thought. I said to myself, being, and I guess there are people that would say I'm a black nationalist, you didn't cry when Tamir Rice was killed. You didn't cry when Trayvon Martin was killed. Then there were the white racists and the right-wing media is having a field day with this today, who said, well, you're not crying when there are these shootings in inner-city Chicago every day. People from a global and international standpoint say, well, you have these meetings every week or whenever you have them to kill people with drones, and oftentimes there are children killed in those attacks. You didn't cry then. So I just thought it wasn't an issue of the crying, and were his tears legitimate? That's just stupid to me. But I am perplexed as to why his staff would, I would have said, Mr. President, take that out of the speech. You know how strongly you feel about it because of the other things that I just mentioned that opened him up for. What do you think?
I disagree. I think that they knew that if he would tear up, and he knew. I mean, set his staff aside, he has the ultimate say in these things. And I mean, there are things that I can think of, and I know actors actually use this kind of thing. When I think about when I was in Uganda, if I started telling the story of having to bury children who I'd watched die from starvation, if I get too much farther into this story, my voice will start cracking. I know that. I can just predict it. It's been going on. I still have PTSD around the event, shall we say. And, clearly that's the case for the president and his interactions with the families of the Sandy Hook victims. I mean, somehow, for some reason, that got more real to him than the families of the people that he's killed with drones, or the families of the people who, and by the way, he did say, and this is happening in Chicago every day at the same time with tears in his eyes. So I think that he and they put it in the speech or left it in the speech intentionally, knowing he would tear up, knowing that it would have tremendous positive and powerful impact on the average American. And yeah, of course, the right-wingers are going to have a field day with it. Hate radio is going to go nuts. Fox So-Called News is going to go nuts with it. They have been. But, they're talking to a very limited audience. They're talking to this little bozosphere, of maybe 20% of the American public who are these true believers in the religious stuff that they're pitching. And I don't think it's hurting him at all. I think it's helping him tremendously.
Well, I don't think that it hurt him either, Tom. And I just want to tell you that I am. I've mentioned this to you before. I'm a single parent. My daughter's 16 now. I've raised her alone since she was born, and I had my own experience with an abuse of a child, and I know how that can affect one forever.
Yeah.
And when the Sandy Hook event took place, it was very devastating to me. I'm not questioning that. What I'm saying is that, again, it seemed to, and I guess it's a calculated risk. It opened him up, though, because the first thing I thought about is, like I said, but you have meetings every week. And we know in this country that we're killing children around the world for whatever reasons. We know that that's happening. And it just seemed a bit disingenuous to me. If you care about children, you care about children no matter who they are, what they look like, or where they are.
Well, I absolutely get what you're saying, but I think that using whatever you've got to as part of your sales pitch. If you can turn on tears and that's going to help your sales pitch for a noble cause that's going to save lives, go for it. That's what I would say.
Well, and it was a great speech. It really was, and I give him kudos for that. But I was just interested in your thoughts on that, Tom. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for the call, Kenyatta. And I would add, were I the president or were I his advisors, I would say go out there and tell that story and start tearing up, because that makes it real for you. That makes people understand that you really care about this stuff. And that's what I think, that accounts for the Fox News schizophrenia, where on the one hand, they're saying he made himself cry. He did this intentionally. Did he put his fingers in onion juice? I mean, because they know that it has a very positive impact. And then on the other hand, they're accusing him of being weak. I mean, in other words, they're accusing him of not having a positive impact. But they know that their accusations are nonsense. It's pretty remarkable stuff, really, when you think about it. To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.